The sun rose over the endless desert of Nivera, painting the sky with shades of orange and gold. Sand stretched for miles, shifting with the wind like it had no end. Mara stood on a small ridge, looking down at the strange shapes emerging from beneath the dunes. For years, humans had searched for signs of ancient life on this remote planet. This day promised something new, something extraordinary. Mara was not like the others in her team. She had spent her life studying old civilizations, reading every story about humans who discovered lost cities on distant planets. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she watched the sand slowly reveal what looked like a pyramid. Its edges were sharp and clean, as if the desert had protected it carefully for thousands of years. The team gathered near the base. There was Aaron, the engineer, always curious and full of questions. Lena, the scientist, who measured energy and particles around the site. And Samir, the pilot, whose calm nature balanced Mara's restless energy. Together, they had explored many ruins, but none looked like this. The pyramid's surface was covered with strange symbols. They glowed faintly under the sunlight, as if waiting for someone to notice them. Mara crouched near one, brushing sand away. The symbols felt alive. Her fingers tingled as she traced the lines. "It is very old," she said, her voice low. "Older than anything we have found on Nivera. The energy readings are off the charts. Something powerful is inside." Lena checked her instruments and nodded. "The readings are not just high. They are different. Not like any energy we know. We need to be careful." Mara looked at the pyramid and felt a shiver run down her spine. There was a strange beauty in the design, a perfection that humans rarely achieved. It was more than a building. It was a message from the past. "Let's start with the entrance," Mara said. "We need to see what is inside." The entrance was half buried in sand. Samir directed the team as they removed rocks and debris. Finally, a dark doorway appeared, almost hidden but still powerful. As soon as the last rock was moved, the symbols on the walls lit up brighter. Golden light flowed from the edges of the doorway. The team stepped back. Even Samir, who had seen dangerous storms and alien creatures, felt a chill. Mara raised her hand, signaling the team to follow her. She carried a small device to scan the chamber. The readings jumped as she approached the doorway. "This is amazing," she whispered. "It is alive in a way. The walls are responding to us." They entered slowly. The air inside was cooler, almost refreshing compared to the dry desert. The walls were covered in images of people and strange machines. Some figures looked like humans, but others had forms that were unlike anything they had seen. Wings, glowing eyes, arms that stretched in impossible ways. It was a history that no one had recorded. Mara ran her fingers along the walls. "It is like a story," she said. "A story from the past. Someone wanted to tell it to the future." Lena measured the air. "The energy here is strong. It feels protective. Like it is watching us." As they walked deeper, the corridor opened into a large hall. Pillars rose to a ceiling that seemed to touch the sky. At the center was a pedestal. Light shone from it, soft and golden. On the pedestal was a small object, glowing faintly. Mara approached carefully. "What is it?" Samir asked. Mara touched it and a wave of warmth spread through her hand. The object hummed softly, as if responding to her presence. Symbols on the walls moved slowly, changing into shapes she had never seen before. Her heart raced. "It is a key," she said finally. "Or something like it. Something meant to open the next part of the pyramid." Suddenly, a sound filled the hall. It was low and rhythmic, like a heartbeat. The team froze. Lena's instruments went wild. Energy flowed through the room in patterns that made the air vibrate. Mara closed her eyes for a moment. She felt a presence, not dangerous, but strong. Ancient. wise. It was as if the pyramid itself was alive and greeting them. We need to proceed carefully, Mara said. This is not just a building. It is a guardian. It wants to know why we are here. They moved forward slowly, following the light. It led them to a massive door at the end of the hall. The door was carved from a single piece of stone, covered with the same glowing symbols. The light seemed to pulse in time with the heartbeat sound. Mara studied the door. This is it, she said. Whatever is behind this door has not been opened for thousands of years. We are the first humans to see it. Aaron stepped forward. Do we open it? Mara looked at her team. Their faces were full of excitement, fear, and wonder. She felt the weight of history pressing on her shoulders. She nodded. Yes. But carefully. This is not just curiosity. We need to respect it. They worked together. Aaron and Samir activated their tools to analyze the door. Lena watched for any dangerous energy spikes. Mara held the glowing object above the keyhole-like pattern on the door. The light on the object brightened, filling the hall with golden warmth. The symbols shifted and moved, forming a pattern that matched the object. With a soft hum, the door began to move. Slowly, it opened. The light from inside spilled into the hall, brighter than the sun outside. The team stepped back, shielding their eyes. When the light dimmed, they could see a chamber unlike anything they had imagined. The walls were made of crystal, reflecting the golden light. At the center was a large sarcophagus. It glowed faintly, as if the person inside were sleeping but still alive. Mara's breath caught. This is incredible, she whispered. She has been waiting for us for thousands of years. The air in the chamber hummed with energy. Symbols on the walls swirled slowly, showing images of the queen and her people. They saw cities, machines, and battles that were long gone. Mara realized that this chamber was not just a tomb. It was a record, a story, and a warning. Lena stepped closer to the sarcophagus. The energy readings are off the charts, she said. She is still alive in some way. The power here is incredible. Mara looked at her team. We need to be careful. This is history, yes, but it is also something more. Something we may not fully understand yet. As they stared at the glowing figure inside the crystal, the queen's eyes seemed to open just a little. A soft light pulsed from her chest, as if she had sensed the humans entering her world. Mara felt a connection she could not explain. The queen had been waiting, and now the humans had arrived. The desert outside continued to shift, hiding the pyramid again from the rest of the world. Inside, the story of Nivera's queen had begun to awaken, and the journey of Mara and her team was only starting. The air inside the chamber hummed softly as Mara and her team stood frozen before the glowing figure in the crystal sarcophagus. Light flickered along the walls, and symbols danced in patterns they could not yet understand. Every heartbeat of the queen's energy made the room feel alive. Mara stepped closer, feeling a pull she could not resist. Suddenly, the light from the sarcophagus grew brighter. A soft voice echoed through the chamber, not spoken aloud but inside their minds. It was calm and powerful. Mara gasped, listening to the words that were clear in her head. Why have you come to my chamber? You awaken what was meant to remain sealed. The team exchanged nervous glances. Aaron swallowed hard. She can hear us. Yes, Mara whispered. And she knows why we are here. The queen's voice continued, filling their minds with images. The walls around them came alive, projecting the history of Nivera in brilliant golden light. Cities rose from the desert, with tall towers and glowing streets. People moved gracefully, working together in peace. Machines flew through the sky, powered by energy that seemed to come from the planet itself. Mara felt her heart race. She is showing us her world, she said. Lena's instruments spun wildly, trying to measure the energy. Samir looked in awe, unable to speak. The projections changed. Suddenly, the peaceful cities burned. Enemies attacked from above, strange ships with dark hulls and glowing weapons. The people of Nivera fought bravely, but the enemy was strong. Mara could see the queen leading her people, using powers they had never imagined. She controlled energy that could shield the cities, create walls of light, and even push the enemy back with a wave of force. She was a protector, Lena said softly. Her power was used to defend the planet. The queen's voice filled their minds again. For 3,000 years, I have remained sealed. My power is not to be taken lightly. It is a gift, but also a burden. Those who awaken me must understand what I am and why I exist. Mara took a deep breath. We are explorers. We want to learn. We mean no harm. We want to understand your history and your people. The light in the chamber shifted. The queen's projection moved closer to the crystal walls, and the symbols on the floor formed new patterns. They were not threatening, but they felt like a test. A challenge to prove their intentions. You speak with honesty, the queen said. But honesty alone is not enough. You must show respect for life and wisdom. Many have sought my power for selfish reasons. They have failed. I must know that you are different. Aaron stepped forward. How do we show you? What do you want us to do? The queen's voice seemed to smile in their minds. You will see. The chamber will guide you. Each of you will face a vision. You must understand it, learn from it, and choose wisely. Only then will you be ready to know my secrets. Mara felt a tingling sensation in her chest. The crystal sarcophagus glowed brighter, and golden light spread across the floor. The symbols around them rose into the air, forming glowing paths leading to different parts of the chamber. Do we split up? Samir asked nervously. Mara shook her head. No. We stay together. We face this as a team. We must trust each other. They stepped onto the paths, and the chamber responded. Light swirled around them, and suddenly each team member saw a vision unique to them. Mara's vision showed her walking through the ruins of her home planet, a city destroyed because humans had fought without understanding. She felt the pain of those people and realized that knowledge without care could bring harm. Aaron's vision showed him inventing machines that failed and caused destruction. He felt regret and learned that creativity alone is not enough, it must be paired with responsibility. Lena saw visions of worlds full of life, threatened by those who did not protect it. She understood that science could be powerful but dangerous without respect for balance. Samir experienced a vision of a great battle where leadership without wisdom led to loss. He felt the weight of making choices that affected many lives. When the visions ended, they looked around. The light had returned to a steady glow, and the symbols had shifted again. The queen's voice spoke once more, calm and approving. You have faced your trials and learned. Your hearts and minds show potential. You understand that knowledge and power must be guided by respect and care. I will now reveal more, but remember, the lessons you learned here must guide your actions. Mara felt a surge of energy as a new projection appeared. The queen stepped out of the crystal in light form. She was tall and graceful, wearing flowing robes of golden light. Her eyes shone with wisdom and strength. She raised a hand, and a holographic map of Nivera appeared above the pedestal. Cities, deserts, mountains, and rivers were shown in glowing lines. This is my world, she said. And it is only one of many. My people once spread across the stars, sharing knowledge and peace. But greed and war destroyed what we built. I sealed myself to protect what remained. Now you have found me, humans. You must choose how to use what you learn. Mara stepped closer, bowing slightly. We want to protect life, not destroy it. We want to learn, to share knowledge with others in the galaxy. We do not seek power for ourselves. The queen's light pulsed in approval. Then you may proceed. But know this, many will seek my power and misuse it. You must be vigilant. You must act with courage, wisdom, and humanity. Only then will my secrets serve their purpose. Lena examined the symbols. The energy, it feels like it responds to us now. Like it trusts us. The queen nodded in the projection. I am not fully awakened yet. My strength is bound to the lessons you learned. Continue to grow. Continue to learn. When the time comes, you may call upon me, but only for the protection of life, not for conquest or greed. Mara turned to her team. We are the first humans to see this. We have a responsibility now. Not just to Nivera, but to every world we touch. We must remember the lessons we learned here today. Samir smiled faintly. It feels like the chamber tested us, and we passed. Yes, Mara said, looking at the queen's glowing figure. But this is only the beginning. There is more to learn, more to understand. And whatever comes next, we must face it together. The queen's projection began to fade back into the crystal sarcophagus. The golden light dimmed slightly, leaving the chamber warm and alive. The symbols on the walls remained, a permanent reminder of the history, wisdom, and power contained within the pyramid. Mara took a deep breath. She felt both humbled and inspired. Humans had discovered many worlds, but here, in the presence of an ancient queen, they had seen what true wisdom and responsibility meant. The journey ahead would be challenging, but they were ready to face it, guided by the lessons of Nivera's past. Outside, the desert winds blew gently across the pyramid, hiding it once again. Inside, the humans prepared for what would come next, unaware that forces beyond the stars had already begun to notice the awakening of the queen's chamber. The chamber was quiet for a moment after the queen's voice faded into the crystal. Mara and her team looked around, still absorbing everything they had seen. The golden light from the symbols on the walls shimmered softly, casting moving patterns on the floor. It felt like the pyramid itself was alive, waiting, observing. Mara stepped forward and placed her hand on the crystal sarcophagus. The warmth pulsed beneath her fingers, gentle yet powerful. The queen's form inside glowed brighter, and her eyes seemed to open fully this time, though she remained still within the crystal. She is waking, Lena whispered. The energy readings are climbing rapidly. Something is happening now. Aaron studied his instruments. It is not dangerous yet, but it feels immense. Her power is enormous. If we are not careful, we could trigger something we cannot control. Mara nodded. We need to understand her before we do anything else. Let's see what she wants us to know. As Mara spoke, the chamber responded. A soft hum rose from the crystal, and a holographic map of Nivera appeared above the sarcophagus. Golden lines traced rivers, mountains, and cities that no longer existed. The queen's voice returned, calm but more present than before. You have shown understanding and respect. You have passed the first trial. Now you will see the full scope of my knowledge and power. But beware, the energy I control is not meant for those who seek it for themselves. Only those who protect life may approach. Mara looked at her team. We need to be careful. This is more than a test now. It is a warning and a chance at the same time. The queen's form inside the crystal began to glow with steady light, and the sarcophagus lifted slightly above the pedestal. Energy swirled around it, forming arcs of gold that danced in the air. The walls of the chamber reflected the light, multiplying it until the entire room seemed filled with brilliance. Samir stepped back, shielding his eyes. This is incredible. I have never seen anything like it. It is like the pyramid is breathing. The queen's voice echoed in their minds again. I am not simply a guardian. I am the memory and strength of my people. For 3,000 years, I have waited for beings worthy of understanding the lessons of the past. Now I awaken, and you will see what it means to be protectors of life. Mara stepped closer. Show us, Queen. Teach us what we need to know. Suddenly, the light from the sarcophagus expanded, forming a holographic projection of the Queen outside her crystal form. She stood tall, glowing with energy. Her robes of golden light moved as if carried by wind, and her eyes held wisdom that seemed endless. You have seen my history and your trials, she said. Now you will witness my power in action. This is the same force that once defended Nivera. Observe carefully, for knowledge is nothing without understanding. The projection raised her hands, and the holographic cities from the past reappeared around them. This time, the Queen demonstrated her abilities. Walls of light rose from the ground, protecting the cities from alien attacks. Energy waves pushed enemy machines back without harming civilians. Ships hovered above the cities, guided by the Queen's command. Every action was precise, controlled, and protective. Mara's eyes widened. She is not just showing power. She is showing responsibility. Every move is careful, measured. Lena nodded. It is the perfect combination of strength and wisdom. Humans have never controlled energy like this. If we could learn even a fraction, we could protect worlds instead of destroying them. The Queen turned her gaze to Mara. Humans are capable of great achievement, but also of great destruction. Your species has potential, but it must be guided. You must learn not only to control power but to use it for protection and growth. Mara felt a deep sense of awe and responsibility. We will learn. We will protect life and use knowledge wisely. The Queen's projection smiled faintly. Then you are ready for the next step. My power is connected to the chamber and the energy of this planet. To truly awaken it, you must connect with it as I did. This will require focus, unity, and courage. Are you prepared? The team exchanged determined looks. Yes, Mara said firmly. We are ready. The chamber responded. Energy arcs swirled around the team, forming a circle of light that connected them to the sarcophagus. Each member felt warmth in their chest, a gentle pulse that seemed to synchronize with the Queen's power. The air vibrated with energy, and the walls glowed brighter than ever before. Focus on unity, the Queen instructed. Let your minds and hearts work together. Only then can the chamber share its full strength. Mara closed her eyes and concentrated, feeling her thoughts link with Aaron, Lena, and Samir. She sensed their courage, their curiosity, and their desire to protect life. The energy in the room responded, forming golden threads that connected the four humans to the Queen's crystal. The light pulsed stronger and stronger until a wave of energy swept across the chamber. Symbols on the walls moved rapidly, and the sarcophagus lifted higher. A deep hum filled the room, vibrating through every bone and muscle. Mara felt the energy fill her mind with images of the Queen's people, her battles, her cities, and her hopes. Aaron gasped. It is overwhelming. I can feel everything she experienced. Lena nodded, wide-eyed. It is knowledge and memory combined. We are learning through energy, not words. The Queen's voice guided them. Do not fear. Accept the lessons. Understand the responsibility. You are now connected, and the power will flow to you as it once flowed through my people. Respect it, protect it, and you will be ready for what comes next. Suddenly, the golden energy condensed into a bright column that touched each human, filling them with warmth, understanding, and a sense of purpose. The visions of Nivera's past and the Queen's power became clearer. The humans could see the balance between creation and destruction, protection and force. Mara felt tears in her eyes. This is incredible. We are seeing what it means to protect, not destroy. The energy gradually subsided, leaving the chamber glowing softly. The Queen's crystal form returned to the sarcophagus, peaceful yet powerful. The humans were changed. They could feel the connection to her energy, a bond that would guide them in the days ahead. The Queen spoke one final time before the chamber fell quiet. Remember, humans. Knowledge and power without respect are dangerous. You have learned the first lesson of responsibility. The trials ahead will test you further. But now, you are ready to face what awaits outside this pyramid. Mara looked at her team. We have seen her power. We have felt her history. Now we must be ready for whatever comes next. The Queen trusts us, and we cannot fail her or ourselves. Outside, the desert winds blew, shifting sand over the hidden pyramid. Inside, humans stood together, filled with knowledge, courage, and the first true understanding of what it meant to be guardians of life. The Queen's chamber had awakened, and the story of Mara and her team had only begun. The chamber had returned to its soft golden glow, but the humans did not feel the same calm as before. Mara, Aaron, Lena, and Samir stood in a circle, still connected to the pulsing energy of the Queen. Their hearts raced with both excitement and caution. They had experienced power beyond human understanding, yet they knew this was only the beginning. The Queen's voice echoed in their minds again, clear and commanding. You have witnessed my power and history. You have seen what it means to protect life. But words and visions are not enough. To truly understand, each of you must face a personal trial. Your thoughts, your intentions, and your heart will be tested. Only then will you be ready to take the next step. Mara swallowed, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. We are ready, she said. Her voice was steady, but inside she felt a mix of fear and anticipation. The Queen extended her consciousness to each human, drawing them into visions that began simultaneously but uniquely. Mara was the first to feel the pull. The chamber dissolved around her, replaced by a sprawling city under a violet sky. She could hear children laughing, merchants calling out, and the hum of machines powered by energy she had seen in the pyramid. A shadow moved across the city, dark and threatening. Mara watched as it touched the people, causing fear and chaos. The Queen's voice spoke in her mind. This is the test of compassion and judgment. You must act wisely. Your choices determine the outcome, not your strength. Mara moved through the vision, helping people find safety. She guided them to secure buildings and protected them from harm using knowledge from her own experience. Each decision felt heavy. Every choice mattered. She realized the power she could wield was not just in force but in care and guidance. Meanwhile, Aaron faced a different vision. He was surrounded by machines that had become unstable and dangerous. Sparks flew and metal twisted in impossible ways. A young engineer approached him, asking for help to stop the machines before they caused destruction. Aaron realized that his talent for invention could harm as much as it could help. He focused, carefully recalibrating the machines with his mind and tools, learning that patience and thoughtfulness were as important as creativity. Lena's vision showed vast forests and rivers filled with life. The energy of these ecosystems flowed in delicate balance. Suddenly, a wave of energy threatened to destroy the forests, and she saw animals in danger. Lena understood that knowledge without action could not save these worlds. She carefully redirected the energy, protecting life without using brute force. Samir faced a vision of a battlefield, where leaders fought without listening to their people. Decisions were made in anger, causing unnecessary suffering. Samir realized that courage alone was not enough, he needed wisdom and empathy to guide decisions that affected many lives. He worked to calm both sides, showing leadership that prevented disaster without violence. The visions lasted what felt like hours, though time in the chamber was uncertain. When the trials ended, each human returned to the physical chamber, breathless and changed. The golden threads of energy still connected them to the Queen, who now spoke with a softer tone. You have faced your fears, your responsibilities, and your intentions. You have acted with wisdom, compassion, and courage. This is the quality I seek in those who wish to learn from me. But know this, humans, trials outside this chamber will be greater. Forces beyond this planet watch the awakening of my power. They will seek it for selfish purposes. You must remain vigilant. Mara felt the weight of the warning. We understand, Queen. We will protect your power and the knowledge you share. The Queen's crystal glowed brighter as if acknowledging their promise. Good. You have passed this trial, but your unity must remain strong. Trust, cooperation, and respect are essential. Your journey will challenge these qualities constantly. The energy you now feel will guide you, but it can only be used for protection, not conquest. Aaron looked around the chamber. It feels like the energy responds to our intentions. When we act with care and wisdom, it flows naturally. When we act selfishly, it resists. Yes, Mara agreed. It is a lesson. The power is not just in the crystal or the Queen. It is in us and what we choose to do with it. The Queen's presence became a soft glow in the room, no longer overwhelming but comforting. Her eyes in the projection seemed to shine with approval. You have learned that power is a tool, not a reward. Your understanding will guide your actions outside this pyramid. Remember, humans, responsibility and respect are as important as strength. Lena took a deep breath. We have changed. The visions showed us not just danger but what it means to protect. I think we understand more than we ever have. Samir nodded. And we understand that we must act together. Alone, we would be weaker. Together, we can handle more than we imagine. Mara looked at the Queen's crystal. Queen, we are ready for the next step. We want to learn more. We want to help you protect what remains of Nivera and beyond. The Queen's voice grew warmer, filled with approval. Your hearts are open. Your minds are willing. You have shown that you are capable of understanding what many fail to grasp. I will now begin to share the knowledge and technology that my people developed. But remember, it is not only about learning. You must act with wisdom, courage, and humility. A holographic display appeared above the sarcophagus. Ancient machines, star maps, and defensive technologies were projected in golden light. Mara and her team studied every detail, realizing that the Queen had preserved the wisdom of a civilization far beyond human achievement. This is incredible, Aaron said, eyes wide. The technology, the strategies, the knowledge, it is beyond anything humans have built. Yes, Lena said, examining the projections. And it is all tied to protecting life, not conquest. That is the lesson. The Queen's presence pulsed gently, filling the chamber with calm energy. Learn from this, humans. Your trials have shown your potential. But do not forget that the universe is watching. Others may try to take what you have learned, but only those with the right intentions can succeed. Protect what you gain, and you will honor the legacy of my people. Mara felt a new sense of purpose settle inside her. We will protect it, Queen. We will honor your people and your wisdom. The team stood together, connected by the Queen's energy and by the shared experience of their trials. They knew that the challenges ahead would test their strength, unity, and understanding. The Queen had awakened in part, but the world outside the pyramid was still dangerous. Forces beyond Nivera would soon notice the presence of this power, and Mara's team would have to face them with courage and wisdom. The golden light in the chamber dimmed slightly, leaving the team filled with knowledge, energy, and a sense of responsibility. They had faced the Queen's test, and they had passed. Now they were ready for the challenges that awaited beyond the pyramid's walls. Outside, the desert winds shifted the sands, hiding the pyramid from the world once more. But inside, humans had changed. They had seen history, power, and responsibility in ways no one else had. The journey of Mara and her team was only beginning, and the trials they had faced had prepared them for the greater challenges that lay ahead. The chamber was quiet, but the energy felt alive. Mara and her team had passed the Queen's trials, and a new sense of purpose filled them. The golden light from the sarcophagus pulsed gently, as if inviting them closer. The Queen's projection slowly stepped out of the crystal, tall and glowing, radiating power and wisdom. You have learned to respect life, to act with wisdom and courage, the Queen said. Now it is time for you to understand the full measure of my knowledge and power. What I show you must be used carefully. You are not just observers. You are guardians, and the universe will test you. Mara nodded. We are ready, Queen. Teach us. Show us what we need to protect life. The Queen extended her hands, and a wave of light spread across the chamber. The walls shimmered, displaying holographic images of technology, cities, and machines beyond anything humans had ever imagined. Floating platforms, energy shields, and ships that moved without engines appeared in brilliant detail. Each image was accompanied by glowing symbols that explained the purpose of the machines. This is the legacy of my people, the Queen said. We built not for conquest, but for protection. These tools and machines allowed us to defend worlds, preserve life, and maintain balance in the galaxy. You now have the chance to learn from them and carry this legacy forward. Aaron stepped closer to a holographic display of a hovering ship. His eyes widened. This is incredible. The propulsion system, the energy shields, it is far beyond what we can do today. Yes, the Queen said. But the knowledge alone is not enough. You must understand responsibility. Power without care will bring destruction, even to those who mean well. You will learn not just how to use this technology, but why it exists, and how it must be applied. The Queen raised her hands, and a holographic simulation of Nivera appeared around them. The humans could see the deserts, the mountains, and the ancient cities, as they had been thousands of years ago. The Queen demonstrated her defensive systems. Energy walls rose to protect cities from meteor strikes. Machines hovered above, ready to redirect natural disasters. Mara watched in awe as the simulation showed entire cities saved from destruction without harm to the people. This is what I ask of you, the Queen said. Use knowledge to protect, not to dominate. Let your actions preserve life and bring balance. Mara turned to her team. We understand. We need to remember this lesson. It is not just about what we can do, but why we do it. Suddenly, Lena's instruments began to beep rapidly. The energy readings from outside the chamber spiked. The Queen's projection turned her gaze toward the entrance. Something approaches, she said. Beings who have watched the awakening of my power will try to claim it. You must be prepared. The humans exchanged nervous glances. Samir tightened his grip on his equipment. We are ready to defend, but we do not know what we will face. The Queen's voice was calm but firm. You have learned to protect life. That is your greatest strength. Trust in your unity, your wisdom, and your courage. You will need all of them. The chamber responded to her words. Energy swirled around the humans, forming protective patterns. Mara felt the power of the Queen merge with their own intentions. It was a connection she could not fully explain, but it filled her with confidence. Outside the pyramid, the desert winds shifted. A group of strange alien ships appeared on the horizon. They were sleek, dark, and moving with precision. Mara could sense their intent. They wanted the Queen's power for themselves. They are coming for the chamber, Aaron said, his voice tense. They know it holds something valuable. The Queen's projection nodded. They seek power without understanding. That is why you must act. You will not face them alone. My energy flows through you. Use it wisely, protect life, and defend the chamber. Mara stepped forward, feeling the energy surge through her. Everyone, stay together. We must work as one. Focus on protecting the chamber, not on defeating them. Our priority is life, not victory. As the alien ships drew closer, the chamber's energy flared. Light beams shot from the pyramid, forming barriers that extended into the desert. The aliens fired energy blasts, but the shields absorbed them, dispersing the force harmlessly into the ground. Mara realized that the Queen's technology was already responding to their intentions. The energy was not just a weapon, it was a guardian. Lena focused on controlling the energy flow, directing it toward the areas under attack. Aaron manipulated the holographic controls, creating protective patterns that strengthened the shields. Samir piloted a small defense drone, sending it toward the aliens to disrupt their formation. Mara raised her hands and concentrated, letting the Queen's energy flow through her. Golden waves expanded outward, not to destroy, but to protect. The alien ships were pushed back gently, unable to breach the shields. Mara felt a connection with the Queen's power like never before. It was a partnership, not domination. The aliens regrouped and tried a new strategy, sending fast attack drones toward the chamber. Mara and her team anticipated the movement, using energy barriers to redirect the drones safely into the desert. Each action required focus, coordination, and calm. The humans realized that their greatest strength was not the Queen's power alone, but their teamwork combined with it. After a tense few hours, the aliens withdrew. They had tested the pyramid's defenses, but the humans had protected it without harm to themselves or the surrounding environment. The Queen's projection glowed softly, as if smiling. "You have succeeded in your first trial of protection," she said. "You acted with wisdom and unity. Remember this. Power is a tool to preserve life, not to conquer. Those who seek it selfishly will fail, as they did today." Mara exhaled, feeling relief and pride. "We did it. We protected the chamber and followed the lessons of the Queen." "Yes," the Queen said. "But this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there are many who will seek what you have learned. Continue to train, to understand, and to act with care. Your journey is just beginning." The humans stood together, connected by the Queen's energy. They had faced their first external threat, and they had done so not through aggression, but through wisdom, unity, and protection. The chamber's golden light pulsed gently around them, a reminder of the lessons learned and the responsibilities ahead. Mara looked at her team. "We are ready for whatever comes next. The Queen trusts us, and we must honor that trust. We are guardians now, and we will protect life wherever it is threatened." Outside the pyramid, the desert winds carried the golden light of the chamber across the dunes, hiding it once more from prying eyes. Inside, humans had not only gained knowledge, but had also begun to understand what it truly meant to wield power responsibly. The Queen's full awakening was still to come, but Mara and her team were prepared to meet the challenges that lay ahead, guided by wisdom, courage, and the bond they shared. The desert outside the pyramid was quiet, but Mara and her team knew that calm would not last long. The golden light from the Queen's chamber glowed softly against the dunes. The first attack had been repelled, but they had all felt the presence of a greater danger. Mara looked at her team. "They are not finished," she said. "The first group was only a test. Something stronger is coming." Lena nodded. "I have been monitoring energy signatures across the sector. There is a fleet approaching. Much larger and more organized than before. They know the Queen's power exists, and they want it." Aaron checked the chamber's controls, which responded to their intentions with energy flows. "We can defend the pyramid, but we need a plan. If we only react, they could overwhelm us." Samir tightened his grip on the small drone he had been preparing for reconnaissance. "We cannot wait. They will strike soon. We need to act." The Queen's projection appeared above the sarcophagus, radiating calm authority. "You have defended the first wave with wisdom. Now you will face the true test. Your unity, courage, and understanding of responsibility will be challenged. Prepare yourselves, humans. The galaxy will test you." Mara stepped forward. "We are ready, Queen. We will defend the chamber and the knowledge you have entrusted to us." The Queen raised her hands, and the chamber responded. Energy walls extended from the pyramid into the desert, forming protective barriers that shimmered with golden light. Holographic projections of defensive grids appeared, showing safe zones and potential threats. Mara studied them carefully. "We need to coordinate," she said. "Lena, manage the energy flow for the shields. Aaron, set up strategic defense patterns. Samir, keep watch with your drones and monitor the enemy fleet. I will focus on coordinating our actions with the Queen's energy." The humans prepared, and soon, the alien fleet appeared on the horizon. Hundreds of sleek ships moved in formation, each one bristling with weapons. Mara felt a wave of tension. They were outnumbered, but she remembered the lessons of the Queen. Power alone was not the answer. Wisdom, strategy, and unity would decide the outcome. As the fleet drew closer, the Queen's projection guided them. "Observe, do not attack recklessly. Protect, do not destroy unnecessarily. Every action must preserve life." The first wave of alien ships fired energy blasts at the shields, testing their strength. The golden barriers absorbed the energy, dispersing it harmlessly into the desert sands. Mara directed the Queen's power through her hands, strengthening weak points and redirecting the force to create new protective layers. Lena monitored the flow, adjusting the shields with precision. "The energy is responding to our focus. When we work together, it is stronger." Aaron manipulated the holographic controls, creating zones that redirected enemy ships into safe corridors, avoiding direct damage to the desert and preserving life. Samir guided his drones to intercept reconnaissance ships, blocking their sensors without causing destruction. The alien fleet adjusted, sending faster attack ships toward the pyramid. Mara felt the energy surge as the Queen's presence guided their actions. Waves of golden light pushed the attackers gently away, preventing harm while protecting the pyramid. The humans realized that the Queen's power was not a weapon, but a force of balance, responding to their intentions. Hours passed as the battle continued. The humans coordinated perfectly, each movement guided by the Queen's wisdom and their shared understanding. Mara felt a deep connection with the Queen's energy, sensing her history, her people, and her intentions. The aliens could not break the defenses, no matter how many waves they sent. Finally, the alien fleet retreated, recognizing that their attacks could not overcome the humans and the Queen's power. The desert grew quiet once more, the golden light of the chamber pulsing softly. Mara exhaled, her chest heaving. "We did it. We protected the pyramid and followed the Queen's lessons." The Queen's projection glowed warmly. "You have succeeded because you acted with wisdom, unity, and respect. You did not seek to destroy, only to protect. That is the true strength of humanity." Lena smiled, relieved. "We have learned to work with the power, not against it. That is what made the difference." Aaron nodded. "It is incredible. We faced a threat far beyond our usual limits, but we succeeded because we understood the purpose, not just the power." Samir looked at the horizon. "This is only the beginning. Others will come. We must be ready, and we must continue to act with care." The Queen's voice filled the chamber once more. "Your success today proves that humans can be guardians of life. But the galaxy is vast, and challenges will continue to arrive. You must continue to grow, to learn, and to act with responsibility. Remember that power without purpose leads to ruin. Protect, preserve, and guide. That is your mission." Mara placed her hand on the crystal sarcophagus. "We understand, Queen. We will honor your trust. We will protect your knowledge and the lives connected to it." The Queen's energy pulsed gently, as if in approval. "Good. Your actions have strengthened the bond between humanity and my power. You have proven yourselves capable of using knowledge and energy responsibly. Continue to build upon this unity, and you will face future trials with courage and wisdom." Outside, the desert winds shifted the sand over the hidden pyramid. The alien fleet had withdrawn, but Mara and her team knew that more challenges would come. The humans had faced a threat greater than any they had encountered before, and they had succeeded not through force, but through careful thought, unity, and protection. Mara looked at her team. We are ready for whatever comes next. The Queen has entrusted us with knowledge and power, and we will not fail her. Together, we can face anything. The golden light of the chamber pulsed softly, a reminder of the lessons learned and the responsibilities that awaited. Mara felt a new confidence. Humans were not only explorers, they were protectors, capable of using wisdom, courage, and unity to safeguard life. The Queen's projection faded back into the crystal, leaving the chamber warm and alive. Mara, Aaron, Lena, and Samir stood together, connected not just by the Queen's energy, but by the experience of defending her legacy. They had faced the first true external threat and emerged stronger, ready for the challenges that would come beyond the pyramid's walls. The journey of Mara and her team was far from over. The galaxy would continue to test them, but now they had proof that humans could rise to meet any challenge. With the Queen's guidance, the power they had awakened, and their unity, they were ready to become guardians of life, preserving balance wherever it was threatened. The desert was calm again, but Mara could feel the weight of responsibility pressing on her shoulders. The Queen's chamber glowed softly, golden light reflecting across the walls. The previous battles had been tests, but now, the moment had come for the final step. Mara and her team stood together, ready to receive the Queen's final gift. The crystal sarcophagus pulsed, and the Queen's voice filled the chamber. You have proven your courage, wisdom, and unity. You have learned to protect life, not to destroy. You have faced trials both within and outside this chamber. Now it is time to entrust you with the knowledge and power of my people. Use it wisely, humans, for the preservation of life and balance in the galaxy. Mara's heart raced. We are ready, Queen. We will honor your trust. The Queen stepped from the crystal, radiant and graceful. Her golden robes shimmered as she raised her hands, sending waves of energy across the chamber. Holographic images of ancient technology, star maps, and protective systems floated around the humans. The energy wrapped around Mara, Aaron, Lena, and Samir, linking them to the Queen in a way they had never experienced. This bond connects you to my knowledge and energy, the Queen explained. It will guide you, strengthen you, and protect those who act with wisdom. But remember, power is not ownership. It is a responsibility. Every action you take must honor life and preserve balance. Mara closed her eyes, feeling the energy flow through her. It was warmth and clarity, strength and understanding. She could see the past, the Queen's history, and the lessons of countless civilizations. She could feel the choices they had made and the paths they had followed. Her mind expanded, but she felt grounded by the Queen's guidance. Aaron reached out, letting the energy flow through him. I can feel the systems, the machines, the shields, everything is connected. This is incredible. It is like the universe itself is teaching us. Yes, the Queen said. And now, you must use this knowledge. There are forces in the galaxy that will test you. They will seek what you now possess. But you are no longer ordinary humans. You are guardians, capable of protecting worlds and preserving life. Lena looked at the star maps floating before them. We can see so many planets, so many civilizations. This knowledge, it is beyond anything we have ever imagined. We can help others, not just here on Nivera. The Queen's eyes shone with approval. That is correct. The lessons you learned in this chamber are universal. Responsibility, unity, wisdom, and courage are the true power. With these qualities, you can guide life safely, even in the face of danger. Samir nodded, feeling the weight of their mission. We will not fail. We will protect life wherever it is threatened. The chamber responded to their intentions. Golden light rose from the floor, forming protective patterns around them. The energy of the Queen intertwined with their own resolve, creating a bond stronger than anything they had ever felt. They realized that the Queen's power was not just hers, it was shared with those who understood the responsibility to protect. "You have received my trust," the Queen said softly. "But remember, this is only the beginning. Many will challenge you, test your unity, and try to claim what you now hold. Stand together. Let wisdom guide your actions. Let courage guide your hearts. And always protect life first." Mara looked at her team. "We have faced trials, dangers, and choices. We have learned. And now, we have a responsibility to act. Together, we can protect what is important and help others across the galaxy." The Queen's energy swirled around them, forming a circle of golden light. "You may leave this pyramid as guardians of knowledge and protectors of life. The chamber will remain sealed, waiting for the day when humans are ready to wield this power again. Until then, you carry my legacy and the lessons of my people." Mara, Aaron, Lena, and Samir stepped back, feeling the energy settle into them. The golden light from the chamber glowed warmly, a reminder of the bond they now shared with the Queen. They were no longer explorers or scholars alone, they were guardians. Outside, the desert wind blew gently over the hidden pyramid, concealing it once more. The humans looked to the horizon, aware that the galaxy was vast and full of unknown challenges. Mara raised her hand, feeling the Queen's energy guide her thoughts. "We have the knowledge, the power, and the responsibility," she said. "Now it is time to use it wisely. We must protect life, preserve balance, and guide those who cannot protect themselves." Aaron smiled. "It is a great responsibility, but I feel ready. We can handle this together." Lena nodded. "We have learned lessons that go beyond technology. Courage, unity, and wisdom will guide us. That is what makes us guardians." Samir looked at the glowing pyramid. "And we have the Queen's trust. That is our strength. We will face the galaxy with courage and care." The golden light from the Queen's chamber began to dim, returning to a soft glow. The energy had been shared, the knowledge transferred, and the humans were forever changed. Mara felt a deep sense of calm mixed with determination. They had been tested, trained, and now empowered. The future was uncertain, but they were ready. "You have done well, humans," the Queen said. "Remember what you have learned. Act with wisdom, protect life, and face challenges with courage. Your journey as guardians begins now." Mara turned to her team. "We are ready. Let's step into the galaxy and honor what we have been given. Together, we will protect life and preserve balance wherever we go." With that, the humans left the Queen's chamber, walking into the desert with confidence and purpose. The golden light faded behind them, leaving the pyramid hidden beneath the shifting sands. Mara and her team felt the bond with the Queen and the lessons of her people guiding every step. The galaxy awaited them. Many challenges, unknown threats, and opportunities to protect life lay ahead. But Mara, Aaron, Lena, and Samir were no longer ordinary humans. They were guardians, chosen to carry the legacy of the Queen and her civilization. As the sun rose over the desert, casting long shadows across the dunes, Mara looked to the horizon. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The universe is vast, but we are ready. Together, we will protect life, and our journey will inspire others to act with courage, wisdom, and unity." The golden light of the Queen's chamber remained faintly visible under the sand, a silent promise that one day, humans would return, stronger and wiser. But for now, Mara and her team had begun their mission. They were guardians, empowered by knowledge, guided by wisdom, and ready to face the galaxy.